Let's go.
Broadcasting from the center of the universe. His universe.
Much better.
He's 90% bourbon and 10% man. It's the Ricky Worley Show.
Oh, my Lord.
Here's your host, Ricky Worley.
That's right. I took the week off, and joining me now is co-host Ann Sharpstein. Welcome to the show.
Woohoo! Happy to be here.
I took my birthday week off. I turned the dirty 30, as Cynthia liked to remind me like every few minutes. She's like, "You're 30, babe." I'm like, "Yes, and you're very close behind. Thank you for reminding me."
I did not appreciate all the beach photos, by the way.
I know.
And yeah, that was just kind of mean.
I'm sorry.
Sunshine, beach, music.
But I was successful in making you jealous because that's what I was going for. Okay, it worked.
Yeah.
Good. All right, first things first. I gotta fix my drink here.
Oh yes, I have wine.
Wine. I'm going with Tennessee whiskey this time. Chris Stapleton would be proud. We got a fun show lined up. We've got coming up a little later in the show, the Foul Mouth Chef. She's from Illinois. She's going to be coming on a little later in the show. She's hilarious, so can't wait to have her on.
Love her.
And you've got the news coming up in our second block. And since we took a week off, there's a lot of stuff coming up. What you got coming up?
A lot of news. Okay, the travel industry is coming back to life, by the way. I'm going to tell you how you can take a cruise, even though the CDC says you cannot take a cruise. Also, I've got the scoop on all the J-Lo and A-Rod drama.
Yeah.
Inquiring minds want to know. And the Queen of England is having a not-so-great week again. I'm going to tell you why.
I mean, what a terrible week for me to take off. There was a ton of news last week.
Oh, yes.
So now we got to catch up.
Now, did you watch the Harry and Meghan interview?
I did.
Okay.
The Oprah interview, yeah.
Yes, can't wait to talk about that.
Yes, so we got that coming up. So like you were just saying, Cynthia and I, we just got back from Hawaii. Had a great trip. We were supposed to come home on Friday of last week.
Yeah.
And then we were sitting there at breakfast, and we were like, you had to do the whole COVID test to go to Hawaii.
Right.
We're sitting there at breakfast, and it's like gorgeous, and we're like, when we get home, what do you have to do? She's like, just some school stuff. But I've got, she's in school, and she's got her books with her and her laptop. And I'm like, oh, okay. And she's like, what do you have to do? And I'm like, nothing. So then I was like, I wonder, because we were on the Big Island, so we were like Kona, and
right.
I was like, I wonder what rooms are going for over in Oahu right now. So I look it up. We got a room for like $115 on Oahu. I was like, it's a no-brainer.
Look at you.
We've done the COVID test. We're here halfway across the world. I was like, let's just go over there for a few more days. So we took off to Oahu for about 3 more days. Which, funny thing, we get there, it's pouring rain, and we're like trying to get in somewhere for dinner, and you can't get in. Everything's full. They're like 2-hour wait. And this is in Waikiki, and we were just kind of pissed. We were like, this was a terrible mistake. Because it was beautiful and sunny when we were on Big Island. We go over to Oahu. It's pouring the rain. I was like, we've made a terrible mistake. So we almost came home, but we woke up the next morning, and it was sunny and like 80 degrees, and it was perfect.
Now tell me you have a tan. You came home with a tan, right?
A little bit. I was very cautious. Because here's the thing about Hawaii. It's like the perfect weather, right? The perfect temperature. So you don't realize that you're getting burnt. So I was very good about putting on the SPF 50, and so no, not really much of a tan.
I'll get you some spray tan.
There we go. That's what I should have done. One of the highlights of our trip, though, probably everybody listening is not as excited about this as I am. I'm a huge fan of Henry Kapono. He wrote the song Duke's on Sunday, which if you've been to Hawaii, Duke's is a big restaurant in Hawaii on a couple of the different islands. But he's just huge in Hawaiian music, which I listen to a lot of Hawaiian music. And he's good friends with Jimmy Buffett. Jimmy Buffett actually covered his song, Duke's on Sunday. Anyway, the whole song, Duke's on Sunday, he wrote that because he does play at Duke's, the restaurant, on Waikiki Beach every Sunday.
Oh, my gosh.
Coincidentally, we were on Waikiki Beach on Sunday. And so I was like, well, let's just go. I was like, I'm sure we can't get in. And, of course, we couldn't. But he plays beachside. So we just hung out right there on the beach. And sure enough, Henry Kapono came out and played for like 2 hours. It was awesome.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. How fun is that?
Yeah, so bucket list thing checked off there.
Oh, I want to hear what else is on your bucket list sometime.
On my I know I need to write it out. I don't really know until I do it. I'm like, oh yeah, that was a bucket list item. So speaking of the trip, when people travel, I think it's not really a secret that the majority of people take the hotel toiletries. Like when you check out, do you do that?
Yeah,
Like
I mean,
the
some of them I
soaps and
don't.
the lotions and all that.
Yeah, some of them I don't care about, but yeah, I usually do.
Especially if it's the bougie stuff, the expensive brands.
Exactly. Did you clean out the hotel?
Well, here's the thing. They're changing now where they're doing like the big bottles on the wall. Like the communal bottles, like you're in a gym or something.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah, it's hard to take that home.
It's hard to take it home.
I guess you could.
I mean, if you bring your screwdriver or something to rip it off the wall, but it freaks me out. Like, I don't know why.
That's kind of weird that everyone else is touching it.
The same bottle of shampoo.
Yeah, I mean, you don't think I would doubt that the cleaning lady would clean the little spigots or
At least well enough. Yeah, and then what if somebody
Yeah.
tampered with it? It freaks me out. So, no, I did not clean out the hotel. But I did read the statistic, which made me think about this. 1 out of 5 people that do, when you can take like the little mini toiletries, set them out when they have like guests come over to the house and spend the night.
I do have a guest room where I have a little basket with toiletries in
Everything in it. I do that too.
Yeah.
When we have somebody come over, I'm like, okay, here's your little shampoo, your little lotion. Like it's a bed and breakfast here.
Yeah, little sprig of rosemary on the pillow.
Yeah, exactly. And some of the weirder things that people take, though, like the desk lamps, the art on the wall, I have noticed.
What?
Yeah, they rip the art off the wall, but I've noticed that they like bolt it on there. So it's kind of difficult to take the art on the wall.
I have never heard of that.
Have you ever
That's
taken
crazy.
anything like other than the toiletries from a hotel room? Moment of truth.
I did steal something, but actually my ex wanted me to steal it, and it was from a spa. They had these like little neck things that they put in the microwave and they heat up, and then they put it around your neck while you're sitting
it's like
by
the rice
fire.
bag things?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love those.
So I stole one of those. Oh, and then he actually, come to think of it, he asked me to steal a lot of stuff because I had like a really nice big Louis Vuitton purse, and he wanted these beer glasses. We were in Iceland or somewhere, and so he wanted the beer glasses. So we drank the beer, and then I put the glasses in my purse.
I have a friend who shall remain nameless who likes to steal salt and pepper shakers
Ew.
from all over the place, like especially if they're like unique.
Oh.
Some of the hotel rooms, though, they've got like those really nice alarm clocks. Like with
Yeah.
they do the white noise or the ocean sound, the calming ocean.
Yeah.
I've been tempted to take one of those. I haven't, but I've been very tempted.
Gosh.
Again, those are
I'd
usually
be
bolted
afraid of-
down.
I'd be afraid of getting in trouble.
Or they charge you and they're like, that was a $500 alarm clock.
Yeah, $500 salt shakers.
Probably the weirdest thing, I guess, that I've taken from a room is the toilet paper, but that was during quarantine. So,
What?
toilet paper was scarce. It was hard to get.
It's all in my closet in the guest room. I looked in there the other day.
You're
and
stocked up.
I am stocked up. It's like embarrassing.
Did you freak
So-
out over quarantine about the toilet paper?
Well, I freaked out before quarantine because my friend over in the UK warned me what was coming over here. And so they were starting to freak out about toilet paper over there. So I went and stocked up before everyone.
Well, I did not. I was like, what toilet? Like, whatever. But then when it really, like, we started to run low and you couldn't get any, I was at a hotel and, they got that extra roll there. I was like, So, yeah, I started bringing home toilet paper with me. But, of course, from a hotel, it's like Costco cheap toilet paper. Like, you can see through it. It's so thin.
Yeah.
It's just as well not to
Well,
have
when
any.
you travel, overseas in Europe, a lot of the bathrooms don't have toilet paper. So it's always a good idea
Oh, that was
to
something.
have it with you.
So we stayed at the Westin Hapuna Beach on the Big Island, and it was nice hotel. But they had a bidet in our bathroom,
Yeah.
and Cynthia lost her mind. She thought it was the best thing known to man. It had a heated seat. It had a nightlight in the bowl. It was fancy. Even while we're there, she's looking on Amazon, we need one of these. I'm like, no, we don't.
Well, you can get her one.
A bidet.
Yeah.
That'd be a very romantic Valentine's Day gift. Here, honey,
It sounds kind of very French.
clean your ass.
What does that mean, bidet?
Bidet?
It must mean something. It sounds French.
It's clean your stink hole in French. That's what it means.
I don't think that's what it means.
Speaking of quarantine, I read some statistics about the quarantine 15, putting on the extra weight. Did you put on any weight during COVID?
No, actually, I lost weight because I was like super regimented with my time.
Yeah. Was the actual average weight, they call it quarantine 15.
Yeah.
The actual weight gain was actually 29 pounds, not 15. So people actually put on even almost double that.
That's crazy. I guess it was all those snacks and sitting around.
I don't know. I'm with you. I actually dropped a few pounds, believe it or not. But I would like to attribute that to working out, but that's not true.
So why did you lose weight?
I think it's because of all the cooking at home. And I'm a pretty healthy cook, although I'm getting pretty good at frying things, so that might change.
Uh-oh.
I made fried pickles yesterday. They were so good.
Fried pickles?
Yeah, you had fried pickles?
No.
Zaxby's used to have them. I know they have a Zaxby's where you live in North Carolina, but they used to have fried pickles.
Don't say Zaxby's.
Oh my
I can't
gosh.
say that.
Yes, I forgot about that.
Do you remember when we did that radio
Yeah, so we did
commercial?
We were recording a commercial, yeah, and I had you come in to be the voice for the commercial for Zaxby's, and you had to say Zaxby's, obviously, in the commercial, and you could not. And
I still can't say it. Zaxby's.
Zaxby's.
Zaxby's. Zaxby's?
Yeah, that's close. That'll work.
Zaxby's?
That'll work. I don't know if it's commercial material, but it'll work.
I think we ended up I never did correctly say it, and then the bloopers was the whole commercial.
We just dubbed it in Zaxby's.
Yeah. With your movie trailer voice.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, so Zaxby's has fried pickles. But no, I think it was because I cooked pretty healthy. I mean, we grilled a lot, and I'm a pretty healthy cook. But yeah, it was not because of the working out. Although, speaking of working out, Apple came out with their new workout program. Do you have like the Apple Watch and all that stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they came out with, I'm going to call it Apple Fitness Plus. I don't know, something like that. But it's their fitness program where it's videos and all that kind of thing. But it syncs up with your Apple TV, your iPad, your watch, your phone, all that stuff. It's really cool, but I only did it one time. So I don't think that's why I lost the weight.
I mean, you have to sign up for this and pay for it?
Yeah, I think you get a trial, but like now they've got this whole Apple One thing where they bundle everything. So it's Apple Music, Apple TV, Apple News, Apple Fitness, all their services, and it's like $30 a month. And you can share it with your family. So we signed up for it because, we use all that stuff.
Oh, what's it called again?
Apple One. I get a commission off of this, so I'm just kidding.
Send me your affiliate link.
Exactly. Yeah, tell them Ricky sent you. So no, I lost the weight, believe it or not.
Yeah, I did. I think I gained it back since then, so I'm sort of a net zero.
You lost it for the year, but now it's back. Just in time for summer.
Yep.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. Like I said, coming up in just a little bit, we've got the foul-mouthed chef from Illinois. Heather Smith's going to be coming on the show to talk about her recipes, so you don't want to miss that. But when we get back, Ann Sharpstein, she's got the news. Stick around.
The COVID-19 vaccines are starting to become available across the country. And as they become available, you may be asking yourself, should I get it? Will it help me get back to doing the things I love? Like going out to my favorite restaurants, meeting with friends in person, or going on vacation and traveling again? And can I do it all without putting my family and those I love at risk? And is it safe? You've got questions. That's normal. Which is why it's so important to get informed. The medical community has made it clear. The vaccines authorized for COVID-19 have met the highest safety standards and can help protect us. Visit getvaccineanswers.org for all the latest information on the COVID-19 vaccines. That's getvaccineanswers.org. Getting back to the moments we miss starts with getting informed. It's up to you. A message brought to you by the Ad Council and the CDC.
And we We are back here on the Ricky Worley Show. Still ahead, we've got Heather Smith. She's the foul-mouthed chef. Hilarious. You don't want to miss that coming up. But before we get to that, Ann Sharpstein, you've got the news. Take it away.
Those of us who love to travel will love this news. With vaccinations ramping up, cruises are making a comeback. Royal Caribbean announced this week that Caribbean sailings out of the Bahamas and St. Martin will return in June.
I cannot wait for cruises to
be
come
able
back.
to cruise.
Yeah.
Now, you won't be able to cruise out of Florida, Ricky.
Oh.
The CDC won't allow that yet. Oh, and also travelers will have to deal with new safety and health guidelines and limited capacity. Also, both the Bahamas and St. Martin require negative COVID tests to enter the country, and all of the cruises require that adults 18 and older be fully vaccinated, but you'll be cruising again. I know that'll make you happy.
Yeah. I wonder if it's gonna be like that fun and easy as it sounds. Because, like I said, we just did the Hawaii thing, and it was a pain in the butt to go get the test, and you have to get the right test and prove that you got it within a certain amount of time. I don't know,
It is an added layer of complexity, and reactions are mixed, to be honest, from travel goers as far as whether they are excited about this or not. So I guess we'll wait and see.
Yeah, I saw some comments like on Facebook, and Facebook is a goldmine for comments if you want to just see people absolutely losing their mind. But the other people like, you're discriminating against people that don't want to get vaccinated. I'm never cruising with you. You know, that kind of thing. Yeah. So the reaction is mixed, to say the least.
Well, I have never been on a cruise, so I don't even know what to. Yeah, I don't know what to expect, and so I don't know. I guess I'll be fine with it all, but I'm just happy to travel, so I will go anywhere at this point, and I'll be happy. Also in the news, A-Rod and J-Lo drama is unfolding, and we've got the insider sources sharing info on all this. So let me give you an update. Jennifer Lopez and Alex Rodriguez have officially announced that they are staying together. They say, quote, "We are working through some things," which sounds a little cryptic.
Some things.
They said that in a joint statement. And I know you've been losing sleep over this one, Ricky, but
yeah, I mean,
I know how much you love J-Lo. Now, those close to the couple say they did hit a rough patch, and speculation arose last month that Rodriguez had an affair, but a source says that quote, had no bearing on the rough patch at all. So we're all left to wonder what's going on. Now, the strange thing is the announcement that they're staying together came only hours after multiple sources confirmed to People magazine that Lopez, who is 51 years old, and Rodriguez, who's 45, that they had split. Now, J-Rod, as you know that they're known, Jennifer and Alex Rodriguez, they got engaged in the Bahamas in March 2019 after dating for 2 years. And earlier this year, Lopez talked about having to postpone their wedding 2 times because of COVID. She also shared last month that the two had gone to therapy together out of the blue. And she shared that both of them had actually reacted quite differently to the COVID lockdown. She said, quote, "I miss being creative and running on 150, Lopez told Allure magazine. But Alex, she went on to say, was like, "I love it. I love being at home. I love doing my Zooms. I love knowing the kids are there and that you're there all the time. But it's actually been really good," she said. "We got to work on ourselves," she explained. So,
yeah, that's like red flag, right? You're engaged and unless you're doing like premarital therapy, but I don't know.
Yeah, there are a lot of question marks, through all of this. So I don't know. Maybe they need to sit down and do an Oprah interview.
Well, and the whole affair thing was apparently with this Southern Charm star from this TV show or whatever.
Yes.
And it was like virtual cheating, right? I don't think they've ever met before.
Yeah, that's right. I did hear that they have never met, and they sort of said that as a explanation that they've never had an affair, but I don't know.
I guess the saga continues.
Yeah, well, things have been a little rocky, obviously, between the two, according to sources. And when it hit the news that they had split, their kids apparently were very shocked and devastated. And this caused the both of them, Jennifer and Alex, to come together and talk and maybe reconsider things. So now, as we know, Lopez has 13-year-old twins, Max and Emma. and her kids with Mark Anthony. And Alex has 2 children, daughters Ella, 12, and Natasha, 16, with ex-wife Cynthia Skirtis. Anywho, the children were so upset about hearing about the breakup, and this made Jennifer and Alex think twice about breaking up. So, they say a lot of people don't break up because of the children. So,
very interesting.
Now, the insiders there, I have a lot of background on this. Alex and Jen apparently had a very long conversation last Friday night.
Okay.
And they are still engaged today, but they're, quote, taking things slowly. And they are both down in the Dominican Republic right now. Jen's shooting a movie, and apparently Alex flew down there to be with her, and they're having lots of happy time together. One source told us that Jennifer is struggling with trust issues, but they are far from planning a wedding again. This is a quote, but they are still engaged.
So trust issues leads me to believe that maybe the Southern Charm Star thing is maybe
there was a little bit.
There,
yeah, maybe it's a little bit of meat to that rumor.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, and also the Queen is dealing with fallout from the acclaimed Meghan Markle and Prince Harry Oprah interview.
I saw this, and ever since it aired, it's not going away.
No, and how long has it been? It's been over
It's been a couple of weeks. I mean, we took the week off. We talked about it on the week prior show, and we're still talking about it.
Yeah, well, Queen Elizabeth II is said to be in, quote, constant crisis meetings since Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's tell-all interview with Oprah. And it is said that the interview has, quote, wreaked havoc on the royal family. So it's quite a royal mess. Now, sources say Queen Elizabeth has not stopped working to repair her family's name after the tell-all interview. While the monarch, who's 94 years old, as you know, she did not watch the March 7th special, according to sources, but Buckingham Palace aides thoroughly briefed her on the claims that Harry and Meghan made about the royal family. And now they say, quote, the Queen has always had a soft spot for Harry and looked out for him. So she is incredibly hurt and shocked that it has come to this, the source told US Weekly magazine. Quote, she's trying to be understanding and see things from Harry's perspective, but allegations he and Meghan have made are very hard for her to digest.
If they're as close as they are, the Queen and Harry, I would think, I don't know the royal protocol and all that, but I would think that's my grandma. I could go talk to my grandma. So it shocks me that she's really that surprised by what came out.
Yeah, I feel for her. I just feel for her.
She's
Can you imagine?
94 years old and she's dealing with this mess? And her husband
plus
almost died the other day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So my heart goes out to her. I just feel bad. Now, the couple, Harry and Meghan, married in May 2018, they opened up in the Oprah interview about suicidal thoughts that Meghan had during her first pregnancy, as well as one family member's, quote, concerns about son Archie's skin color.
I saw a joke about this, the skin color, but there was a joke, and it's like they were talking about, they were worried about what the baby's going to look like.
Right.
And then somebody said, yeah, they were worried it was going to be a ginger. Instead of the skin color, the hair color.
Now, Buckingham Palace responded on March 9th. As we know, I think you heard this, in a statement that read, quote, the whole family is saddened to learn the full extent of how challenging the last few years have been for Harry and Meghan. The issues raised, particularly that of race, are concerning. While some recollections may vary, they are taken very seriously and will be addressed by the family privately. Harry, Meghan, and Archie will always be much loved family members. Now, in the aftermath, Gayle King revealed that Harry has talked to his brother Prince William and their father Prince Charles since the interview, but the conversations were, quote, not productive, and they were very tension-filled.
Why is she... I understand, I guess she's friends with them, Meghan maybe, or Harry. She's friends with the couple. But
that's a good question.
Why is she out there blabbing about this?
I don't know. I don't think it's really appropriate.
You think maybe she thought she was going to help, but really she's just stirring that shit up, and you'll learn what that means coming up in just a minute.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what she's involved for. or why she's involved.
Yeah.
So very, very odd. Anyway, moving on. Also, Piers Morgan and Sharon Osbourne are in the news. I mean, you have to be living under a rock to have not heard something about this. This is more fallout from the Harry and Meghan interview with Oprah. Now, Piers Morgan.
Are we this bored right now at home? Like this is our soap opera around the world that everybody's like.
Yeah, we're kind of milking
into.
it. We're milking it for a couple of weeks. So
somebody do something.
Yeah. Now, Piers Morgan is demanding an apology from the CBS show The Talk for what he calls disgraceful slurs. As you may know, Sharon Osbourne has been accused of racism for defending Piers on her show in the ongoing spat over his Meghan Markle comments that he made on his show. Everyone has a show here. Now, so let's get this straight. Piers Morgan is demanding the apology from Sharon's show, The Talk, the former host of Good Morning Britain, who he stepped down after his tirade against Markle, if you haven't heard that. He responded to a tweet from his friend and The Talk co-host Sharon Osbourne. He said, quote, "Sharon's been shamed and bullied into apologizing for defending me against colleagues accusing me of racism because I don't believe Meghan Markle's BS." He didn't use BS. He actually said the whole two words. And he said, quote, "I demand an apology from those The Talk CBS bullies for their disgraceful slurs against me." Now, it was only hours earlier that Osbourne posted a very lengthy statement clarifying her stance on racism. Everyone's explaining themselves. She said, quote, "I have always been embraced with so much love and support from the Black community, and I have deep respect and love for the Black community."
Yeah, she didn't write that. That came from her publicist.
Yeah, I think you're right. And to anyone of color that I offended and or who talks like that? A publicist talks like that. Yeah. And that I offended, and or to anyone that feels confused or let down by what I said, I am truly sorry. She posted that on Twitter. So meanwhile, Sharon's show has gone on hiatus while they, quote, investigate the whole matter, including when she asked her co-host Cheryl Underwood to, quote, educate her on why her remarks made by Piers Morgan were racist, or why the remarks made by Piers Morgan were racist. So
yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what happened over with Piers Morgan in Britain, what he said that was racist. If unless it was just him saying, I don't believe her, I think it's all bullshit, then okay, fine. But how is that racist?
I believe that's what he was basically getting at.
Is that all there was? Because if so, then, you know.
Yeah, I actually saw the clip. You can actually pull it up online and see it. And so I think he doesn't think she's telling the truth. So now, you know, you might think that Sharon Osbourne is very nervous right now because her show just went on hiatus while they investigate things.
Right. I didn't even know that show was still on the air. The biggest thing out of this is everybody's getting PR out of this. Piers, Sharon, that stupid show, The Talk, which is the View knockoff. I mean, good for them for dominating the headlines for a week.
Right. Well, they put the show on hiatus for another week, so 2 weeks. And there are general expectations that she's about to be fired. However, one source said she's not nervous at all. She is, quote, furious with CBS, and she's ready to threaten legal action. So, and meanwhile, several other people are coming out of the woodwork sharing details of other times that Sharon has reportedly made, quote, racist comments. So, you know, the story goes on. We probably will be talking about this next week.
Probably.
I don't know. And meanwhile, her publicist, you mentioned her publicist, he came out in defense of Sharon, and her family, by the way, including her dogs, have been receiving death threats. So she's had to hire her own security. So the royal mess continues from the fallout.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to get rid of Sharon. I would be shocked if they get rid of Sharon. First of all, she's the only celebrity that I know of on that show. Right? I can't tell you anybody else that's on that show.
Well, that's true. That's true.
I mean, she makes that
if they do get rid of her, they're probably going to have to pay her a lot of money to settle.
She's got I'm sure an extensive contract as long as she's been on that show. It's been going on for years and years.
Right. Is she still married to Ozzy Osbourne?
She is still married to Ozzy. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Why don't we hear from him?
I think I follow him on Facebook. He posts some stuff randomly, but he's old. He's an old man. It's funny to see him now.
Okay, and on with the news. Try not to scream is what I'll call this next story, okay? Now, California theme parks are preparing to reopen amid the COVID-19 pandemic, and they're being urged to take extra steps to try and keep customers from screaming on those rides and roller coasters because that spreads COVID. So the California Attractions and Parks Association said parks preparing to reopen should take extra steps to make sure guests aren't spreading COVID by screaming. And they said in their, quote, responsible reopening plan, CAPA wrote, face covering usage and or modifications to seat loading patterns will be required on amusement park rides to mitigate the effects of shouting. They also want parks to limit activities that involve singing. This is kind of a buzzkill.
Who's writing this? Who's coming up with these? I mean, it's a guideline, right? I mean, you're not going to be able to police this or enforce it. It's so stupid. I mean,
I don't know.
So
you don't
dumb.
Sing.
Somebody
don't
at a
yell,
desk is like, oh,
don't shout.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Debbie Downer.
Yeah.
Now we have Karens, and now we've got Debbie Downers who are like telling us what we can do. So California theme parks have been closed since March 2020, and attractions including Disneyland and Universal Studios are preparing to reopen next month, but only at a 15% capacity to begin with.
Which probably is wide open.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that's worth them opening 15%.
How are they going to make money?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're not making money now, but I feel like they're going to lose even more. I don't know. But it's a start.
I don't know.
It's, we're starting to hopefully see things get back to normal.
I hope so.
But don't scream.
Or sing. Or smile. Yeah.
Don't have fun.
Don't have fun. Yes, stay home. Now, Gwen Stefani named her maid of honor. Now, ahead of the Blake Shelton and Gwen Stefani wedding, now the superstar Gwen has revealed who she wants to be her maid of honor. And she just gave Ellen DeGeneres the biggest honor ever. During the Wednesday, March 17th episode of the Ellen DeGeneres Show, the Hollaback Girl singer requested the biggest honor from the daytime talk show host herself. Of course, Ellen said yes.
I didn't realize they were that close.
I didn't either. I guess they must be really close to.
I mean,
that is
yeah.
quite an honor, right?
Yeah.
Now, as fans may recall, the musical couple announced their engagement on social media in October 2020 when, alongside of a photo of the pair kissing, Gwen flashed her ring and she wrote, at Blake Shelton, yes, please, exclamation mark.
That was October 2020? I feel like they've been engaged for a long time.
Yeah, I know. I'm telling you, the last year and a half has been...
Drug on.
Yeah, it's been kind of a Twilight Zone. So... Anyway, so they are going to be happily married, and that wraps up the news.
There you go. We have the news with Ann Sharpstein. Stick around when we get back. We've got Heather Smith. She's the foul-mouthed chef. You don't want to miss that. Plus, we're going to be talking about the 10 most annoying things that men do according to the women that live with them. We'll get your take on that. Ann and Heather is going to be with us. And a quick game of Ricky's Rapid Fire. More of the Ricky Worley Show. Stick around. We'll be right back.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt and our submarine crashed on the seafloor. We were in total darkness.
That's Dr. Dejana Figueroa, a marine biologist and STEM teacher, talking about a deep sea dive she'll never forget.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean. And there I was, 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiments. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses at things few people ever get to see. Glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
And we're back here on the Ricky Worley Show, and Sharpstein alongside. And now joining us, Heather Smith. Now, some people obsess over a lot of things: food, restaurants, and even grocery stores. I know here in Florida, everybody loves Publix. Trader Joe's is a popular one. But one of those stores that has a huge following, of course, is Aldi. Now, Cynthia and I, my wife, are big fans of Aldi. So we joined some of these Facebook groups. That's how big this is. They've got Facebook groups. Just to keep up with the store. They've got, new items, seasonal stuff. They even have this thing called the Aisle of Shame, which is like this aisle that they change stuff every week. New products, seasonal products, just random things. And there's even Facebook pages dedicated to that. But there's this page called the Aldi Nerd Community Recipes Group. And joining us is Heather Smith. I came across you. You are a mom. And
I am.
And you have these foul-mouthed, step-by-step Aldi dinner recipes that you put out.
Yep, absolutely.
So you make these recipes. They're all Aldi ingredients, and you take pictures and do step-by-step images in this Facebook group that we're in. How did this start?
It's pretty funny. I was like stalking the page for a long time before I posted. And I posted this really easy 3-ingredient recipe, and it's extremely simple. And a bunch of people asked, like, well, how did you do that? Would you do a step-by-step? So I did, and I just dumbed down to literally every single step.
Yeah.
And made it extremely easy and threw in a couple swear words, and people seem to just love that part.
As you do, naturally, when you're cooking sometimes.
Yes.
I think your iconic phrase is, stir that shit up.
Yep, you just stir that shit up.
Add a little of this, a little of that, and stir that shit up. I think you need T-shirts made.
That's right. What kind of feedback have you had? Like, what is the most popular recipe that you've done?
I think I haven't even done that many so far. I think the most popular was cream cheese enchiladas.
Ooh. And
that had gotten, amongst a couple Aldi pages, like over 5,000 likes, over 600 shares. And it's a pretty simple recipe. It's nothing fancy. It's something anybody could do. And people just seem to love that one. Now I've had probably 20 or 30 people tell me they've made my recipe, which is crazy to me because I'm not even a chef. I just learned to cook a couple years ago from watching people, learning from the internet. And now people are using my recipes that they're finding on the internet.
And like
so
you said,
it just blows my mind.
They're not super complicated. I mean, it's not like Julia Child. Just like you said, throw a little of this, a little of that, stir it up. Even some of the recipes, you're like, add it if you want, or if you don't, like whatever.
Right?
You need your own YouTube channel now.
That's what a few people have said. I'm like the most awkward person. I don't.
Well, that's why it would be so great.
Yeah. I think the radio aspect's a lot easier for me.
We've mapped this out. We've got T-shirts, aprons, YouTube channel, cookbook.
If I could quit my day job, I would probably go for it.
What is your day job?
Well, I say that, but I love my day job. I'm a professional dog groomer. I've been doing that for a decade. It's a huge passion in my life. But it's really hard on my body and my back and my wrists, and
it's very physical.
It can be really hard work. Yeah, maybe switching into cooking and a little less grooming.
The foul-mouthed chef. Yeah. I mean, that's it.
I love the description. It was the foul-mouthed Aldi chef. I'm like, that is great. I will take that.
I like how at the end of your recipes, it always ends with a picture of your daughter. I think she's 3.
Yes, she's 3.
You get your daughter's stamp of approval. These are toddler-approved meals.
Yes. Yep. And that's the real test.
Well, except for she was not. You just did a St. Patrick's Day one, the corned beef and cabbage.
Yes.
She was not digging the cabbage.
No, not at all.
But I think that's normal for a kid, no?
I let her slide on that one. Usually, if she'll try a bite, at least a bite of everything, then she gets to have dessert. I let her slide on cabbage. Yeah. She could still have dessert.
I still don't like cabbage. I'm 30.
I don't love it. But
it was St. Patrick's Day.
I don't think I've ever had it. What does it taste like?
Cabbage?
It's supposed to be one of the healthiest foods that there is. So we try to incorporate it some way, but it tastes like whatever you cook it in, really.
Yeah, you gotta hide it, like in a soup or something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or coleslaw. That's great.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's in coleslaw.
yeah.
And, yeah.
Yeah.
Then I guess I
and my
have
daughter
it.
loves coleslaw, so I thought maybe she'll like it, but nope,
Yeah.
not happening. She'll eat almost anything.
The big question is, what's for dinner tonight?
I don't know. Probably grilled cheeses and tomato soup. That was the only thing. Nothing extravagant tonight.
Just throw it together and stir some shit up.
Yeah. I should let you guys pick what I cook next.
Ooh.
'Cause I don't know what to cook next. I was thinking possibly do a cheesecake because that's my husband's favorite, or a buffalo chicken dip because that's one of my favorites.
Oh, I love anything
But
buffalo
if you
chicken.
guys have any suggestions or like challenges,
Well, let's see,
I don't know
Easter's
what to
coming
make.
up. What's
Yeah.
Easter food?
We'll probably do a crock pot ham with pineapple. That's usually what I do every year.
Yum.
Why don't you try beef bourguignon, which is like a French stew.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Okay.
And you can put
I'll
a little
look
bit of
into that.
some winking owl wine in it because you gotta have the red wine in your bourguignon sauce.
Okay.
Well, I love to cook, so I love what you're doing. I think it's
Thank you.
hilarious, and I love
Aw.
it.
Yeah, I just learned to cook when my daughter started eating solid foods. I was like, I should learn how to cook.
And now you have people following you.
It's just crazy. It's really crazy. My mom hated cooking. Still hates to cook. So it's just so funny that people think I'm a cook. Because I don't even think of myself as a cook. I'm just somebody who can follow directions on recipes and, change it up a little bit. Just stir the shit up.
Just
That's
stir
it.
that shit up. See,
It's
I'm not
easy.
even good at following directions. So the step-by-step pictures, like, throw a little of this, throw a little of that. Like, I can follow those directions. But when it's like,
It's foolproof.
a half a milliliter, I'm like, I don't know what a milliliter is.
Yeah.
30 grams of this ingredient
Yeah.
sifted
Just a
in
couple
with
shakes.
this.
Yeah. Couple shakes, stir that shit up.
So recipes in layman's terms, basically.
Yeah. It's cooking for dummies with foul mouths.
Cooking for Dummies. Well, if you want to see Cooking for Dummies, it's the Aldi Nerd Community Recipe Group on Facebook. And you said you're posting in some other groups also, some other Aldi pages?
I do post in the Isle of Shame, even though it's not Isle of Shame related.
Right.
That's just one of the funnest groups that there is. So I post there, and then I started a Stir That Shit Up page, and I post there too.
All right, so we got to find the Stir That Shit Up page on Facebook.
It's shit with 3 T's.
Shit with 3 T's. All right, we'll find it, and we'll post it on our Facebook so they can find it at Ricky Worley Show.
Facebook won't let you say shit with 1 T.
Oh,
and
you got to get
can't use
creative.
an asterisk, so that's how that happened.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. Well, you may become the corporate face of Aldi. You never know.
I know. I think they're a little more family friendly than my language, but I would love to do an Aldi book. That would be great.
Well, while I've got 2 women on the show, I wanted to get your take on this. I came across this list. It was on AskMen.com. They released the 10 most annoying things that men do according to the women who live with them. So you have a husband, and you've had boyfriends, a husband. So we're going to work through this list, and I'm just going to get your take on this. So number 1, we leave a wake of empty containers.
Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that's true.
Like an empty beer bottle or something, or just done with the milk carton and just leave it.
My husband will hoard boxes of anything he's ever purchased.
Oh, I do that too.
Like everything. Electrical cords.
Yes.
Like just everything.
When you get a
Everything
new
that comes in
phone.
a box.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
going to say, I probably still have the box from my first iPhone somewhere around here.
Yep.
But they always ask, like, when you go to resell it, do you still have the box? So it adds value. There's something there, ladies.
I throw away everything. I don't have room or time for clutter.
Number 2, we splash the mirror when we brush our teeth.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm guilty of that because I've got the Sonicare, and it flings spit everywhere.
Yeah.
It drives her nuts.
Absolutely.
Then now I
I
just
just-
walk into the bathroom or to the bedroom and brush my teeth in the bedroom so I don't fling it on the mirror.
Just fling it in the bedroom.
Fling it all over the bed.
On everything else.
Yeah. I'd rather have it on the bedspread than the mirror.
Number
Not.
3, we leave hair in the sink after we shave.
My
Sometimes,
husband-
yeah.
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes he'll clean it up. If it's obvious I've just cleaned the bathroom, he'll clean it up.
But to be fair, you
yeah.
women leave your hair everywhere else.
Yes.
We can't help it. Yeah, we
Yes.
do shed naturally.
So we
Yes.
get a pass on that one.
Yes.
Number 4, we use 10 drinking glasses a day instead of just one.
It's opposite for us. I use 10 drinking glasses a day, and my husband will use one.
Just the one. I usually
Yeah,
just use
actually,
one.
I'm the same way.
I like
Yeah.
my tumbler, like the double insulated tumbler. So I use that all day. Keep my drink
I
cold.
just figure if I'm the one that does the dishes, I will use what I want to use.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Number 5, we pee on the toilet seat.
Yeah, and don't put it down. Well,
Yeah.
yeah,
Don't
or-
put it down.
either or.
We've just potty trained a toddler, so that's the least of my worries.
but there are lots of toilet related problems with men.
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
I'm not going to argue there. Number 6, we litter the ground with laundry.
Yes.
Sometimes,
1,000,000%.
I leave a trail around the house so you can find me.
Yes. Yep. I can tell where he took his socks
like
off.
breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
And yes, yep, all throughout the house.
Number 7, we don't do housework. That's not fair.
No, that's definitely true.
I have to
In
give
my
my
experience.
husband credit. He works a lot, so I don't expect him to do that much.
Yeah.
But he'll chip in where he can. But yeah, take out the garbage more. Yeah.
Yeah. I try to do it when I remember. Or like sometimes the laundry will get so piled up and then I get anxious. I'm like, no, I gotta throw a load in. It just drives me crazy.
Yeah, it drives me nuts.
Yeah, I don't think men do. I called my parents the other day. My dad answered the phone and he said, "Oh, hang on, sorry, I was vacuuming." And I'm like, "What?
You're like, what the heck?
What's wrong? Where's mom?"
I do
what happened?
vacuum. I do vacuum, but we have a Roomba, so.
Very nice.
Number 8, we burp and fart indiscriminately.
So I belch louder than my husband,
Nice.
but his farts are out of control.
I usually
Out of
try to
control.
leave the room, and she's like,
He'll
"What are you
wake
doing?"
himself up. He'll wake himself up from a dead sleep
Oh my god!
because he'll fart so loud.
He's like, "What the heck?"
No joke.
Did you see the video? There was a video being passed around on Facebook the last week, and it's where this dog's sleeping and he's snoring, and then there's a little cat. There's a little cat right there, and so the dog lets one loose, and then the cat just looks at him and then just smacks the crap out of him. The cat's really pissed off. Did you see that? It's
No.
Yes,
hilarious.
I have, yeah.
So funny.
I think my husband's going to hate me after this.
Trouble in paradise. I don't even know what this one means. Number 9, we develop a martyr complex when we get sick. I know we do. Because we turn into big babies.
That should be the number one at the top of
Yeah.
the list. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Even if I have like a hangover, I'm like, oh no, I can't get out of bed.
Aw.
Yeah.
When you ask kind of why I started to do this, my husband had COVID, and luckily he didn't have any respiratory problems, but that's how I had the extra time to start doing this. So this actually came about because of him being sick.
Thanks to COVID and your husband.
Yes, we all had to quarantine and had all this extra time, and luckily we were all fine. But that's how I got the time to do this, and just kept going with it.
So funny.
Well, the last thing on our list of annoying things men do, according to the women that live with them, is we channel surf rapidly and seemingly aimlessly.
Oh, and you take control of the remote.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, my husband definitely has control of the remote if the toddler does it, but he really only watches like 2 channels.
Yeah. See, Cynthia and I, we have our shows that we watch together. So like, I travel a lot, so when I'm home, we watch the same shows. We're
Yeah,
really
a lot of times the shows we get into, we both watch together. So.
And if they watch it without you, it's almost like they cheated on you.
Oh yeah,
I get so mad. I'm like,
that's
you're an
the
episode
cardinal
ahead?
sin. If
100%.
you start a show together, you don't continue without each other.
100%.
And you can't really watch them. You know how it says that you've already seen it. It shows that you've already watched the show. So you can't really like hide it.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah, Netflix is on you. So there you go. There's our list. Annoying things men do, according to the women that live with them. Before we go, we've got Ricky's Rapid Fire. I've got a couple questions. We're just going to fire at you, Heather.
Oh boy. Okay.
Yeah, you don't know what's coming at you. So here we go.
Don't ruin my marriage. Okay.
We'll play it easy from here
Stir
on
that
out.
shit up, Ricky.
Exactly.
Oh boy.
All right, so since you are the foul-mouthed chef, if you could eat only one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
lobster bisque.
Ooh,
Yeah.
That's a good one.
that is a good
Yeah.
one. What is what we were just talking about? What's the latest TV show that you binged?
Schitt's Creek.
Oh yeah, sad that
Obsessed.
one's over.
Yep, I'm obsessed.
That's right. They're cleaning up with the awards this year. Well deserved. So
I was late to the game. I watched it after, again, with the COVID thing being quarantined. That's when I watched it. And yeah, I'm so sad it's over.
I know,
I
it's
became
brilliant.
obsessed.
I think there's talks of a movie, maybe.
Oh, I would definitely see that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So, with the exception of Aldi, what store do you shop at the most?
I'm lucky. I'm right between a Walmart, a Jewel, a Meijer, and an Angelo's.
All right, so for people that don't live in Illinois, what is Joy? I know what Meijer is because they're in Michigan. And Angelo's. What are those? Grocery stores?
Yeah. Yeah, all grocery stores.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you guys have Piggly Wiggly there?
I think they have them in Florida, but I lived for a while in South Carolina, and they did have Piggly Wiggly in South Carolina. Mm-hmm. But you don't see those very often. There's not many.
I think they're going out of business.
Yeah.
But yeah, typically Walmart, unfortunately.
What's your ideal temperature? Can be indoor or outdoor.
I'm always cold,
Okay.
and I live where it's like freezing out most of the year, half the year. If I could have my house set at like 78 all the time, that would be great.
I would die.
Wow. Wow.
Maybe not
That's
that
pretty
much,
warm.
but I'm freezing all the time.
I keep it when I go to bed here. Of course, I'm opposite of you. I live in Florida. I put it on 65 when I go to bed.
Wow, that's pretty cold.
Yeah, but I like
Yeah.
my face freezing, and then my body's warm under the covers.
Yeah, when I'm sleeping, I do like it a tad colder
Yeah, so like
with
76.
a fan on.
Who was your
Yeah,
first?
76. Yeah.
There you go. Who was your first celebrity crush?
Ooh. Do you remember who Devon Sawa is?
No, but
He
I,
was in Now and Then.
I had to Google now.
Oh, Google him. He was in a lot of guest spots on all the TV shows, and
Sawa. Okay, he
he
looks
was like-
familiar.
yeah, like everybody who was into Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah, he's got that
like
thing.
he was the anti-Leo, and I had his posters everywhere. That and Ryder Strong. I can't believe I remember that name. He was Sean on Boy Meets World.
Oh yeah. Okay,
Love him.
good answer.
I guess that shows age. They're like old now.
Ricky, who's your first crush?
Probably the Olsen twins. My sisters watched Mary-Kate and Ashley all the time, and I just thought they were it.
I love them. They're exactly my age too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I don't know what happened to them, but they used to be really hot.
I think they're doing okay. One's getting a divorce or got a divorce. And
They've kind of like disappeared out of public life. I don't know.
yeah.
They do their fashion thing. That's it. How many hours of sleep do you need to function?
5,
Ooh.
6. I'm a very busy person. I don't know the last time I got 8 hours of sleep.
What's your favorite
I drink-
cuisine? Type of food?
Oh, I'm leaning towards Chinese food, but that's not something I cook. But if it's cooked by somebody else, that's probably my favorite.
You know,
Or
Cynthia
like
and
a
I.
Japanese steakhouse.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
See, we got
Like a
good
hibachi.
at cooking Asian food this year because of quarantine. I was like, oh, I want like bourbon chicken or whatever. And we Googled it, and there's only a few ingredients that you probably don't have that you need to get, like fish sauce, oyster sauce. There's a few things. And once
Yeah.
you have them, you can make like so many Asian dishes. So, and they even have some of that stuff at Aldi, believe it or not.
That's going to be my next thing I learn to cook is some,
Some good Asian food.
yeah, definitely. I didn't even know I liked Chinese food or Asian food until a couple years ago. And I'm like, why have I been living under this rock for so long?
It's so funny, like cuisines,
so
like you're
good.
scared of them for a while, and then you have them, you're like, oh my god, this is amazing. Like Indian food and Thai food for me, I was like, and now
I'm that way with tofu. I don't want to try it.
I've never tried tofu.
yeah, it's just like a gelatinous, flavorless nothing.
Yeah, it doesn't look good.
It makes me sad when I eat it.
Yeah.
Makes you sad.
Yeah,
Yeah, I get the same vibe.
it's just kind of
Like you wish it was something else.
Yeah, like where's the beef?
Yeah.
What is something that you can't do?
Huh. The only thing that comes to the top of my head right now is that I can't back up a trailer.
Oh, I probably couldn't either. I mean, I could probably back it up, but it's not going to go where I want it to go.
Exactly. Yeah, I could do something with it, but it's not going to be pretty.
Yeah, and no injuries.
And last question. What celebrity or personality annoys you the most?
Oh, who's the girl from Twilight?
Oh,
Who
Kristen
never
Stewart?
closes her mouth all the way. The way she doesn't ever close her mouth all the way just
Drives you
kind
crazy.
of bugs me a
I've
little
never
bit.
noticed that.
I can't not notice it when I see her.
Now I'm gonna
And she always looks sad. I don't know.
She does always look sad. That's true.
I like everybody, so that's hard. That's the only thing I could think, though. That mouth thing just kind of bugs me.
Oh my gosh. I just Googled her and and go to Google Images and there's so many with her mouth just kind of slightly open. But you're right. It's always open.
It's not a smile. It's not a frown.
No, it's
weird.
Maybe it's how
It
she
bugs
breathes.
me. Yeah, she's breathing. It just bugs me.
How irritating.
Yeah, it's irritating. I don't know why. It bothers me that I'm bothered by it. It shouldn't bother me.
Well, there you have it. Heather Smith, the foul-mouthed chef. You can find her on Facebook on Stir That Shit Up with 3 T's. And, of
That's
course,
right.
on the Aldi Nerd Community Recipe Group. Appreciate you coming on the show. It's been so fun.
Thank you so much, guys. This is so much fun.
We're looking for that beef bourguignon. We're ready.
I'm going to do it.
Yes.
And I'm going to tag you guys. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay,
I
thanks
love
so
it.
much.
All right. Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
And that's our show. Check us out, RickyWorley.com, Ricky Worley Show on social media. And be sure to subscribe to the show anywhere you get your podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. Tune in and leave us a review. Let us know what you think of the show. And like we say every week, and cheers.
Cheers.
Adopt US Kids presents What to Expect When You're Expecting. A teenager. Learning the lingo.
Today I'm going to help parents translate teen slang. Now, when a teen says something is on fleek, it's exactly like saying, that's rad. It simply means that something is awesome or cool. Another one is totes. It's exactly like saying, totally, just shorter. As in, I totes love going to the mall with Becca. Another word you might hear is jelly. Jelly is a shorter, better way to say jealous. As in, Chloe, I am like so jelly of your unicorn phone case.
You don't have to speak teen to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will think you're, rad just the same. To learn more, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.